Ladies and gentlemen, Primetime CP23 here with my first PTR video in quite a while. Today we're going to be taking a look at a little speed farm variant of the Wrath of the Waste set, Whirlwind Barb. Today's build is highly unoptimized, but still pretty darn fun to play. So I'm excited about this because I really enjoy this build. I really enjoy Whirlwind Barb, and I'm really excited for patch 2.6.1 to make this even more viable. I'm just throwing out random things at this point. So, as you can see, we're on T12. We can easily go to T13. It's just a little slower. As you can see, I don't have optimized gear. It is mostly ancient with pretty low-level augments because I didn't really understand augments and the grind and all that stuff in Season 9, which was my second season ever. And it was the season that I got all of this gear. So you'll have to just kind of bear with me here with how unoptimized this gear is. Like my bracers, my NEMs do fire damage, and I have no fire damage on my bar, so it's pretty unoptimized. But as you can see, we're using Istvan's paired blades with the 6-piece Wrath of the Waste set, which, due to these 2.6.1 buffs, we're now going to get a 1700% damage bonus on on Whirlwind, plus we're using the new Skullgrasp ring, which will give us an extra 500% damage on Whirlwind. As for the weapon in the cube, we're using Blade of the Tribes, so that Warcry and Threatening Shout cause an avalanche and an earthquake. This is, for lack of a better term, a gimmick. It's just a fun way to incorporate Blade of the Tribes into this build. We're also using Shielinix chain so that we gain increased movement speed after we use a Warcry. So, then as for skills, we've got Threatening Shout, Falter, Whirlwind with the Wind Shear rune, Earthquake with Cave In, so that every time we use Threatening Shout or Warcry, we're pulling enemies in. We're pulling enemies in while we're whirlwinding around. We've got a Wreath of Lightning and a Boon of the Hoarder to speed this build up. Plus, obviously, we get the speed bonus from our belt. It's pretty fast. Like, it runs around pretty fast. We'll go ahead and jump into a rift here. Just to finish off looking at the skills, we got Battle Rage Bloodshed, Warcry Impunity, and Wrath of the Berserker with the Insanity rune. Passives, we're using Rampage, Weapons Master to get 8% increased damage, Ruthless, and Unforgiving to help with constantly having close to max fury. Of course, Boon of the Hoarder, Wreath of Lightning, and Bane of the Trapped are our gems. Reduced resource cost reduction rate in the helm. So as soon as you get into the rift, obviously the first pack of enemies you find you're going to want to pop Battle Rage and Warcry, as well as start spinning. As you can see, it pulls everything to us. So I don't know why I even bothered killing this. Like, it's PTR, it doesn't really matter. That'll probably be the last gear drop I stop for. And as you can see, we're doing all this, we're not even in Wrath of the Berserker yet. I pretty much saved that for elite packs because they're the only part that we need it for. And we don't even really need it for elites. It just speeds up the kill time just a little bit. And this is really good for building up a little bit of density while you whirlwind around. Like when you have one elite like that, and you want just a little bit of density around it. That's why we're using the cave-in rune on Earthquake, is so that we can get that little pull. Now, there are some variations of this, of course. If instead of wanting to run Blade of the Tribes, if you want to run the meta version of this build, you'd swap out Blade of the Tribes for a Furnace, and you would swap out you'd probably swap out Earthquake for Ignore Pain, and that would probably get you the best results, the highest clears, possibly the most speed even. But this is fun, it's fast, and I enjoy it. And you know what? With patch 2.6.1, we're going to be able to play a lot more fun builds. A lot more builds that, as of right now, you would get punished if you spent time playing these builds. But because of all the buffs, you don't get punished anymore. Now, you can easily farm higher torments with lesser builds that you just like to play because they're fun. Now, Whirlwind, of course, is plain and simple one of the best barbarian builds there is. So that isn't the perfect example of just playing what you want to play, but the variant of this that I'm using is a good example. You do occasionally have fury problems if you don't have a rift with good density. It can sometimes become a problem. But I mean, you can see how fast it gets going. Let's go kill some density here. It's not the fastest build ever. It's not really the most fun build ever, but it is pretty fun. And like I said, I've got very unoptimized gear. You could very easily speed farm at least this fast, if not faster, on T13. So, just with a little bit of gear optimization. There's a lot of items that I don't have perfect rolls on. There's a lot of items that I have incorrect stats on even. Like, everything has strength, except for my amulet. The amulet, rather than using Kimbo's Gold or whatever it's called, you'd probably be better off with just a Hellfire amulet. But this is what I had laying around, so... And actually, to be real, it's just what I happen to have a Boon of the Hoarder in. So I just started running with this. Here's another goblin. Go ahead and pop Wrath of the Berserker, because I want to kill this and get it out of the way. Under the right circumstances, you'd be able to pull things into an Oculus circle and be even better off, so... All I really care about is Death's Breath, so let's be real. I went the wrong way, and this is not going well. Drift is taking way longer than it should. And I do apologize about that, but I think that's my first shrine. And we're actively running NEMs just to make the rifts go faster. But NEMs only works if you actually find pylons. Yeah, when gold wrap's not up, you do have problems. Like when you don't have enemies around to kill with your gold wrap, you can run into some problems just because that's a lot of damage reduction you're losing out on. Well, alrighty. Well, so ladies and gentlemen, that is a rift. This video ended up taking a little longer than I intended to, mostly because the rift took a little longer than I intended for it to. But I think you get the idea. You just kind of run around, spin around rather, and just have fun. Next season is all about having fun. Season 12 of Diablo 3 is going to be a fun season. I know I'm looking forward to it. I'm kind of debating on if I want to play Barbarian or Wizard to start Season 11, or start Season 12 rather. You all will be in the loop though, I'll let you know. But ladies and gentlemen, until next time, I'm out.